All right, we'll try this again. I just finished videoing and realized that I didn't have the audio set correctly, but I've got it set correctly now. So anyway, today we're reading Mark 11. I do want to apologize for not getting one done late yesterday afternoon. The weather got real bad and my internet was going in and out, and it wasn't staying steady enough for me to do it. So I'll do Mark 11 now, and I may do another one later on. But anyway, Mark 11, the triumphal entry. Now when they drew near to Jerusalem, to Bethphage and Bethany at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent two of his disciples and said to them, "Go into the village in front of you, and immediately as you enter it, you will find a colt tied, on which no one has ever sat. Untie it and bring it. If anyone says to you, 'Why are you doing this?' say, 'The Lord has need of it, and will send it back here immediately.'" And they went away and found a colt tied at a door outside in the street, and they untied it. And some of those standing there said to them, What are you doing untying the colt?" And they told them what Jesus had said, and they let them go. And they brought the colt to Jesus and threw their cloaks on it, and he sat on it. And many spread their cloaks on the road, and others spread leafy branches that they had cut from the fields. And those who went before and those who followed were shouting, "Hosanna, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David. Hosanna in the highest." And he entered Jerusalem and went into the temple. And when he had looked around at everything, as it was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12. Jesus curses the fig tree. On the following day, when they came from Bethany, he was hungry. And seeing in the distance a fig tree in leaf, he went to see if he could find anything on it. When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season for figs. And he said to it, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples heard it. And I think we mentioned this in Matthew, that here in the South, for the most part, we have fig trees in our yards. And the trees that I had figs on them for about 3 weeks. You had to make sure that you got out there and picked the figs, or the birds would get them, or they would just rot and fall off. And they lasted for about 3 weeks. Well, I have a fig tree in my yard now that's in a pot. I forgot, it's called a patio fig. That's not the kind it is, but that's the type it is. I forgot what the name of it is. But anyway, and it bears figs twice a year, early spring and then late summer. But it keeps figs on it all year long. If you don't pull those figs off, they will stay on there. In fact, back when it was snowing earlier this year, it still had a couple of figs on it from last fall, and I'm not trying to eat them yet because I'm trying to let the tree grow there. It may not make the 3 or 4 figs, but according to the type of fig, they may hold figs later and throughout the year. And I feel like that's what this situation was. Now, I don't know why Jesus cursed it, and it's an interesting thing, but it's not something that's going to affect my salvation. And so I'm sure there's a reason. One day I'll understand it, but for right now it's not going to affect my salvation. And so I'm not going to worry about it. Jesus cleanses the temple is the next section. And they came to Jerusalem, and he entered the temple and began to drive out those who sold and those who bought in the temple. And he overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold pigeons. And he would not allow anyone to carry anything through the temple. And he was teaching them and saying to them, "Is it not written, 'My house shall be called a house of prayer for all the nations'? But you have made it a den of robbers." And the chief priests and the scribes heard it and were seeking a way to destroy him, for they feared him. Hey, baby. Because all the crowd was astonished at his teaching. And when evening came, they went out of the city. You want to sit in my lap? Okay. Well, here, come sit in my lap just a minute. I don't know where Scout is. Do you want to sit in my lap? Okay. Well, let me finish. I think she's in my room. Let me finish reading this, okay? Okay, all right, give me just a minute. And when evening came, they went out of the city. Well, back then, as you can see, I have a visitor today. She's not feeling well, so she's staying with me since she can't go to her babysitters. But anyway, the priest had turned into a thing. They would, if you brought your offering, whether it was a lamb or whether it was turtle doves or whatever, you had to bring it and get it approved by them so that they could say it was without fault and without blemish. And they had turned it into a business where they would say, look at your lamb, and it might be fine, but they would say, no, it's not good enough. You have to buy one of these. And they were overcharging. That was what the problem was. They were cheating people. They were not trying to help them. They were trying to cheat people. The lesson from the withered fig tree. As they passed by in the morning, they saw the fig tree withered away to its roots. And Peter remembered and said to him, Rabbi, look, the fig tree that you cursed has withered. And Jesus answered them, have faith in God. Truly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will come to pass, it will be done for him. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. And whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also, who is in heaven, may forgive you your trespasses. And I will say this, if we don't have forgiveness in our hearts towards other people, God will not forgive us, because we don't have our heart is not open to forgiveness. We have to be willing to forgive others in order for the Lord to forgive us. The authority of Jesus challenged. And they came again to Jerusalem, and as he was walking in the temple, the chief priests and the scribes and the elders came to him. And they said to him, by what authority are you doing these things? Or who gave you this authority to do them? Jesus said to them, I will ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. Was the baptism of John from heaven or from man? Answer me. And they discussed it with one another, saying, if we say from heaven, he will say, why then did you not believe him? But shall we say from man? They were afraid of the people, for they all held that John really was a prophet. So they answered Jesus, we do not know. And Jesus said to them, neither will I tell you by what authority I do these things. So there's all kind of good lessons to get from these scriptures. And I've mentioned before, get a little notebook. I like to get the little, okay, hang on one second, okay? I like to get the little notebooks from the Dollar General. They're a black and white, kind of a, I don't know how to explain it. It's black and white swirly on the front. Usually there's other colors too. But it's not wire bound, it's stitched together, and so it makes it so that when I write in it, it doesn't bother my arm because I'm left-handed. And so I like having those. They're really inexpensive, usually about $1, $1.50 a piece, and it's like 80 pages, so you got lots of room to take notes without it being bulky. And so when you have questions about things, just start at the beginning. Write things that you learn. Yeah, hold on one second. Write things that you learn. Write down questions that you have. Yes, baby. Hold on one second. Write those things down and keep up with that notebook. And if you have a question and you write it down, and then later you go back and realize that there's an answer to it, write that answer down. Go back in there and make. Hold on one second, baby. Make notes so that you can keep up with it. Sometimes we learn from others, and sometimes we learn from ourselves. So don't give up trying to figure something out. If it's, you keep looking and you keep praying, and the Lord will bring an answer to you. It may not be anytime soon, but he will bring an answer to you. I promise you. But anyway, thank you for joining us, and we will see you later.